What a day in the Kelsey Fitzsimmons trial.
Met up with
Sectioning her,
Officer
boxing her in,
when I
putting
met
her
up
into
with Officer
custody.
Houston.
Don't talk when I'm talking, sir.
We got to see a rigorous cross-examination, lots of fireworks in the courtroom, always my favorite. It's day 2, and this trial is a credibility battle. Welcome to the Margaret McLean Show. I'm your courtroom translator, and we are about to go behind the scenes. To recap, Kelsey Fitzsimmons, age 28, is facing trial for assault with a dangerous weapon in Lawrence Superior Court in Massachusetts for pointing her gun at a fellow police officer and pulling the trigger. Now, there was no bullet in the chamber. The police were trying to serve her with a restraining order and take her baby away at the time. You know, people are asking why she wasn't charged with armed assault with attempt to murder, which is a much more serious charge. Well, the answer is the grand jury considered the evidence and indicted her on the lesser charge of assault with a dangerous weapon, which carries up to 5 years in prison. In my opinion, they likely considered her struggles with mental health, postpartum depression, and she had a 4-month-old baby at the time. This case boils down to credibility. The police officer, Patrick Noonan, said that the defendant pointed her gun at him and pulled the trigger, so he felt he was justified in using deadly force when he shot Fitzsimmons. So, what does the law say about police using deadly force? Well, the law says that if death or serious bodily harm is imminent, the police can use deadly force. So the question for the judge is, did Noonan follow his training and protocols? In the prosecution's opening statements, ADA James Gubitos said Fitzsimmons had a full magazine in her handgun and that she pulled the trigger while pointing it at Noonan. The only reason the officer is alive, Gubitos said, is because there was no bullet in the chamber and because of Officer Noonan's training. So the defense knows that if the judge believes Officer Noonan, they lose. What is the defense strategy here? Attorney Tim Bradle did exactly what a seasoned defense lawyer does in a case like this. He went for the jugular as he cross-examined Patrick Noonan because he's the only eyewitness who matters. The only other witness to this crime is the defendant herself. Noonan's also the victim in this case. The defendant's gun was pointed at him, so the assault is on Noonan. This is crucial for the prosecution because it shows her state of mind. He said he was completely shocked and yelled, "Don't do it." And when her arm came up again, he fired twice.
I was yelling at her, "Don't do it, don't do it."
And then what happened?
After she successfully got around in the chamber, her right arm started to come up, and I shot twice in rapid succession.
The defense rejects his version entirely. According to them, Kelsey was not pointing the gun at him, and in opening statements, the defense indicated she would testify. On cross-examination, in my opinion, Noonan did his best to hold firm, maintaining that Fitzsimmons pointed the gun directly at him. She pulled the trigger, it clicked, and he responded by firing 2 shots. He even clarifies his first shot missed. The second shot struck her in the torso.
You told the police that you pulled the trigger once. You said the word once. And then you said, I kept giving commands. And then you said, I pulled the trigger again. That's a completely different scenario than 2 shots in rapid succession, isn't it?
You pull the trigger, pull it again. Yes, I pulled it twice.
Noonan is not wavering here, and that matters because consistency builds credibility. I also noticed Noonan's demeanor on the witness stand. He's a seasoned witness. He's been cross-examined many times. He's trying to persuade the judge, listen, I had continuous observation. What I saw I saw clearly. However, defense attorney Bradel scored points by raising the issue of Noonan's potential bias, which may have blurred his judgment. Take a listen.
When I met up with
Sectioning her,
Officer
boxing her in,
when I
putting
met
her
up
into
with Officer
custody.
Houston-
Don't talk when I'm talking, sir. So you were thinking that she was going to need to be sectioned, that she was a whack job, and that she needed to be boxed in. Those are all things that were in your mindset, weren't they?
No.
Well, you said them.
He also points out, why would my client try to shoot you when moments before she trusted you with her baby? It doesn't make sense.
She chose you to take a bottle and feed her baby, right?
That's correct.
And then this is 5 minutes before you say she tries to murder you, right?
That's correct.
Did you think maybe to use the taser when she pulled the trigger and the gun didn't go off?
No. You meet deadly force with deadly force.
Kelsey's gun didn't fire because there was no bullet in the chamber. The defense is arguing this was a suicide attempt misinterpreted as an attack. If the judge believes Noonan, the shooting is justified, the charge is proven. Now, if the judge has reasonable doubt about Noonan's version of events, the entire case collapses. After Noonan finished testifying, other prosecution witnesses stepped in to support the physical evidence that a round was found in the chamber and about the sound or click a firearm makes when someone attempts to fire without a cartridge in the chamber. This evidence bolstered the prosecution's theory that Fitzsimmons posed an imminent threat before he shot her. Stay tuned. I'll be following this trial and providing my behind-the-scenes courtroom translation. Thank you so much for tuning into the Margaret McLean Show, and don't forget to subscribe.